Oh, e-girl programmer. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at chat. Yes. The dream, the dream. Who knows, maybe I am an e-girl. My voice is certainly high enough. Yeah, so basically I'm cleaning up my spaghetti code right now and turning it into like nicer spaghetti. Forgot what I was doing for a second there. Yeah, the problem with streaming programming is that I get distracted really easily. But oh well, at least I'm doing it. What the? Cargo check gives an error, but it still runs and compiles. That is bizarre. That might be due to nightly. I have no idea why that would happen. But anyway, it's working, so that's good for me. Abstract GFX view manager, and what else was it that I abstracted? The terrain pipeline. Push that to the repository. Excellent. Alright, now in our main module file for GFX, it is much more slimmed down and easy to read. Nice. Okay, I think at this point we can actually... Oh. So right now we're generating the whole awk tree in the terrain pipeline, which is not ideal because the game code should not be inside of the graphics code. So let's start abstracting the game. Ooh. All right. Oops, we already have game.rs. Okay. It's going to live in here. We're going to put the awk tree in here and it's going to generate here as well. Not in the player, in the game. Actually, we don't even need to save it in the struct. We'll just have it be created in the new function. Hmm. So we have to find a way to get the graphics. We have to find a way to get the renderer to hook into the game to find out when the awk tree has changed so that we can update it on the renderer. However, that requires the game to have a system to generate those notifications, which means that we either need game to know about the renderer, which is not ideal, or we could just program an event system and hook the renderer into that event system. And that actually sounds perfect actually. So let's do that. How are we going to do it? So to create an event system, events system. So we could do this as a callback. Oh, wait. I think we can have each thing that wants to hook into the event system. We can just have it take or implement a trait, and that trait, um, a function from that trait or functions from that trait will be called for different events that are generated by game. That could work. That actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I like that. We can change it in the future. So first of all, let's make the trait. Maybe let's first of all move game into its own module. Game slash mod.rs, and then we will make event.rs or events.rs. Then we'll have to import that module in game. So mod events. Actually, that has to be a public mod because we're going to be using it outside of this the game module elsewhere in the code. So at the basis of events, let's first make our basic event trait. Pub trait. Well, maybe not a basic event trait, but octree updated event or something like that. Maybe like octree event handler. And then we would have a function. Oops, don't need to make it public. We'd have a function like um, on updated, I guess. And it would take the maybe like it would take an octree reader, a reference to it, of course. So it'd take an octree reader, and that's it. That would be it. And that gives us errors because fn on updated. Huh. Oh, I have to name this variable. The name of the variable would be reader. And so then we could very easily just implement the octree event handler for our renderer. And of course, when we create the renderer, we're also going to have to register it. So we'll do this at the bottom. Impl octree event handler for renderer. And then the sole function is on updated. I kind of like this. This actually works pretty nicely. However, this doesn't give... Oh, there's a problem. This system doesn't give the handler, it doesn't give it the freedom to control when it processes the updates, which is annoying. Okay, right, that's the problem with callbacks, is that it takes away the ability to choose when to respond to that callback. So what we really want to do is actually we should just build a buffer that gets like sent in a channel to each different handler that is subscribed. I like that. How is that going to work though? So instead of having a trait, we'll actually have maybe like uh, Oh. Okay, well here's a problem. If you decouple the time that the receiver, the handler, has to respond to, what's it called? If you decouple the receiver's response time from the generator's response time, then that creates the issue that you need to introduce synchronization if you're going to send references, or like a mutex or something. Well, yeah, you would have to pass everything else. You'd have to pass everything around in a mutex, which is annoying. So, do we really want to do that? Do we want to pass everything around in a mutex? Not really. You know, I'm gonna try the system that I was thinking about before. I think that it actually sounded fine, good enough. So let's put that back. Because, I mean, on updated, we just have to update the buffer. Once again, that creates the issue of blocking the calling thread. But either way, you'd still have to synchronize. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, well. Bro, my my headphones turn off if there's been no audio, even if I'm talking. Annoying. Anyway, so okay, I just realized the problem. The problem. What was the problem again? I totally forgot. So if we handle events in this way, it blocks the thread that's generating the events while we're handling them, which is annoying. Oh, so yeah, okay, that's another problem. The calling, the caller or the generator of events might be on a different thread. There's no way for us to know that onUpdated isn't getting called at the same time as render, and that's very not good. So it actually does not make sense to it does not make sense to use a callback. Callback is ugly, not thread safe, and we definitely want to be threaded. Goodbye callback. Alright, we're learning. So the question is, how do we send a whole octree to an arbitrary thread? Obviously we have to send like a reference, probably in a mutex. So that means that we're going to have to store the octree in a mutex wherever it is, because this octree is probably going to be accessed from multiple threads. Okay, so the way that we're going to pass messages around, we can just create an enum. Enum event. And enum event, the first one that might happen is octree updated. Something along those lines. And inside of there we would have an arc with a mutex. Actually, this could even be an RW lock, because would that be useful? Is there multiple places that the octree would be getting read at one? Actually, probably just a mutex. Mutex, we don't need the added complexity. So we've got our mutex. And you know, this actually shouldn't be too bad. Right? I mean, this is going to have to happen at least once per frame if the octree has been updated. So we can expect in our worst case scenario once per frame. Which means probably like if we have, let's just assume worst case scenario of 244 hertz monitor. Oh my god, my window going crazy. Okay, 244 hertz monitor. And let's say we're sending an octree, or like, let's say that we're sending 1,000. Let's say we're sending a gigabyte of data. Okay, wait. Yeah, a gigabyte of data. 244 times per second. So that's a throughput of 244 gigabytes per second. And I love how we can put the hertz here and it'll convert the unit for us. That's so cool. Anyway, 244 gigabytes per second. I think that's a little bit more than what my RAM can handle. Hopefully, we're not going to be transferring a gigabyte of data per second. Or I mean, per update. We're going to have to find a way that we can only send some of the data. And actually, if we're doing append-only writes to the octree, then we can just send the appended data, which would improve performance a lot, actually. But okay, let's say that the average write is actually a megabyte, 1 megabyte. So that means that we'd be writing 244 megabytes per second. Actually, let's say we write a megabyte per second every time, or a megabyte per frame, and we also write a gigabyte every full second. Oh, need parentheses here if we want the units to work. So that would just be 200. Oh wait, that's the correct equation. Is it? Oops. Plus 1 gigabyte per second. So pretty much that's just a gigabyte per second. Let's say a gigabyte per second. DDR3 RAM. How do I look that up? Bandwidth? It's not really I don't think it's a. Can you transfer rate? That's what it's supposed to be. Transfer rate. I don't think you can measure it like realistically in bandwidth because it is not a wireless signal. It is not an electromagnetic signal. Okay, anyway. 6,400 megabytes per second, aka a gigabyte per second. So that would actually be taxing. That'd be taxing the memory pretty hard. Okay, well how big is the what is this? Let's get out of here. How big is the octree that we're creating? I don't actually know. I think we should probably, let's take a look at that. I'm not sure if I'm printing that out when we generate the octree, but let's try. So this is an octree with a depth of either 8 or 9. But anyway, built octree, okay, it tells me how many seconds it took to build. And let's see, where are we building that octree? Yeah, so this is with a depth of 9. This is probably the max depth that we're ever going to see in the game. I don't think we're ever going to need more than 9 a deep octree. But maybe, I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. Anyway, so let's also print out the size of that when it's done. Width, size, And then the second parameter will be octree mgr dot hello. Octree mgr doesn't give me any useful info. Octree builder, hello. Can you? Okay. Let's. Oh, actually, we don't need wait. Okay, we have to add a function on octree builder to get the underlying reader. Fn reader. Oh wait, public function reader taking self, returning a dynamic reference to a reader trait. Never mind, it's going to return a dynamic or an arc of a mutex of a dynamic reader trait. Octree reader, to be specific. That'll return self dot writer, I believe, dot clone. May not live long enough. What does this mean? Huh? What if we just return? Wait. Oh, I don't think it even has to be. Oh, but it. Okay, I figured it out. I think. Dot clone. There we go. And I believe we might have to add a function onto the reader trait to allow to like get the buffer. Uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, this is the file we're editing. So octree manager dot hello dot nothing. Oh, we're in a macro, so it's not gonna autocomplete. Dot reader dot dot data. Yeah, let's add that to the reader trait. If we go to reader, we can go to O, which has octree reader, and we can add fn data returning. Oh, and that takes a self reference and it returns I think a slice of nodes. That'll give it all the nodes. Then we can implement this for here, fn data and self returning node list, and that would actually just return self, literally. And I think there's one other place that I have to implement that. It's probably in yeah, vec octree. Vec octree, here we go. Fn data, returning. Oh, fn data, taking self reference, returning a node slice, and that would return self dot zero, I believe. Oops, it'll take referenced self. Tuple parameter 0. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce, like, I guess tuple parameter 0. I don't know. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Okay. Last error line right over here. Dot data, no method data found. Right, that's because we have to lock the mutex first. No method named data. And then we have to unwrap the result from the mutex. And then... What? Oh, is it doing that weird thing again? Cargo run? It's doing the cargo check thing, I think. Where it doesn't compile right. Or, I mean, it doesn't work right with cargo check, but then it compiles fine. Never mind. Method not found for vec octree. Huh? Oh, it knows that it's right. Okay. Dot. Oh, could we actually just reference? Wait. Huh? That should work. This should definitely work. Well, obviously it shouldn't because there's a red squiggle under it, but whoops, we forgot to implement the trait. Always check. And now we get an even bigger error. We have to get the length of the data. Wait a minute, wait. Hold up. Vec octree, yeah, so the octree reader already has a length. Okay. In that case, we should, wait, that's weird. Well, the thing about length is that it doesn't necessitate you to, because potentially an octree under this trait, the octree reader trait, could not, it might not be in a buffer format. It might be in a pointer format or something. And if you convert it to data first into the node slice, then you're forcing it to be serialized, which could be an expensive operation. Whereas with length, you could potentially somehow know the length. It, well, it's kind of wonky feeling, but I guess it's the right thing to do. But in that case, we don't need to do .data.length. We could just do .length. And that should compile. Now, yes, here we go. Okay, and let's see our stats. Size. This many bytes, so let's see how many. Wait a minute. It's exactly that length? Kind of skeptical about that. Oh shoot. Wait, no, that's right, I think. Why is it exactly that length though? That sounds kind of peculiar. That does not feel right. What if I try like, is it gonna give me the same thing every time? If it gives me the same thing every time, then I will be skeptical. If it gives me something, oh, that is bizarre. It was just extremely lucky last time. Also, yeah, that billion error is right there. Okay. So that is, let's see, bytes to gigabytes, megabytes. That's only 1.15 megabytes for the entire octree. Okay. Maybe it's not going to be as bad as I was expecting. Because this octree is already pretty deep. Like, plus it's going to contain multiple multiple what particles? There'll be multiple particles per node. Holy pronunciation. And if there's multiple particles in each of these nodes, that's a lot of particles. So I think the octree should probably not be the bottleneck here. I mean, it is the acceleration structure too, so I would hope it's not the bottleneck. I kind of feel like my... Oh, right, we're not in... Let's cargo run with release. I want to see how the performance is like. I'm hoping that... I mean, I always get a couple hundred FPS. Never goes below 100 FPS on my 1060 so far, which is good. I would hope it does not. But if it does, I mean, if performance ever does get bad, because I mean, this is fully ray traced, um, we can just lower the resolution. It actually looks really good. Okay, yeah, that does help. Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe the performance is just taking a little hit. Whoa. Very cool. I like this. This is a cool view. Kind of want to take a screenshot of this. Ha ha ha. Save. And, very nice, very nice. Okay. Alright, so I don't know what I've changed. I'm just gonna commit it just in case. Since I don't know what I've changed, I'll just put in a random commit message. Print octree size on build, which we're promptly going to remove anyway, because we're going to set up the event system and the octree is going to be stored in the game class. So let's get to the event system. Man, setting all this up is going to help a lot, because before my code was a little bit not so easy to reason about, but now it actually makes a ton of sense. Actually, I'm kind of interested. Let's do a line count. Oh, I forgot also, I forgot to zoom in for YouTube. It's hard to see the code right now. So let's see. Let's run clock cloc src and shaders slash src. 1500, not too bad. That's like more than 5. Of course, the quality of your code is not based on the amount of lines of code, but based on how cool your product is. And I've got a long way to go on that front. But anyway, before, I think for today, I still want to... Dude, okay, wait, hold on. I've been waiting for my package It's supposed to have come ages ago, bro. My package got on the truck at 6 a.m. and what the heck? My stream going crazy. Okay. My package, okay, so I ordered a new mouse pad. You can see I do not have a mouse pad here. I ordered my package at, or no, I ordered my package a while ago, but it got on the truck at 6 a.m. and it's still on the truck and it's 6 p.m. now. So, bro, where is my package at? I'm scared that it's gonna like, I'm gonna track my package and it's gonna say back at station or something. I hope that does not happen because that would be unfortunate. I want to unpack my mousepad today. Okay, okay, sidetracked. What are we doing right now? Oh yes, event system. Event system. Let's go there. Oh, my file structure is starting to get pretty big. I like this. For the first time, I don't feel like I don't know what to do next. I feel like I'm just zooming, man. I feel like I'm just like going through my code and it's just working. So anyway, let's get to this. Octree updated. So this is going to contain an arc of a mutex of a dynamic Octree reader. And we have to also import arc. Now. So we'll have game generate that. For now, we're just going to generate it once. Actually, okay. Can't generate it yet because we don't have any infrastructure for actually generating the events. So we'll say, we'll make like a struct event manager or event generator, something like that. Event, I think, actually, yeah, no, event manager makes sense. Okay, our event manager is going to contain, I don't know, maybe a channel? Is that a thing in Rust? Channels? And it would probably, well, it would have to be a single producer, multiple consumer. That's called SPMC or SPMC. MC MPSC. SCMP. Okay, wait. So I think it's like STD sync single channel. Wait. MP multi-producer single consumer. Well, no, we don't want it. MPSC. Okay, wait. So how do you do that? Channel. What is a multi-producer single consumer? Wait, no. Oh my god, confusing myself. Single producer, multiple consumer. SPMC is what it's called. I guess we are going to need a library for this. Oops. I wonder if I even need a library for this though. I could just implement it myself. So how does this work? Basically, we gotta have so the lifetime. We're gonna create the event manager, and where we create the event manager, that's where the events are gonna get sent. There's just gonna be one input, and then we gotta maintain a list of outputs, output locations or channels, and the input channel will get forwarded to all of the output channels, which actually produces a bit of overhead if you're gonna have a lot of the output channels, because those are all gonna have to buffer their events. So it would be something that you don't want to use randomly or like everywhere. Or not everywhere, but just carelessly. You wouldn't want to use it carelessly. So how are we going to do this? Are we going to use a library? Bro. Oh my god. My headphone's turning off. Okay, I'm just going to put on like some quiet music in the background so that I can not have it constantly turning off. Okay. Event manager, how will you work? Oh my god, that's too loud. Event manager. I wonder if I could have like, maybe I could find some royalty-free music to, eh, nah, we don't need that. Okay, come on, I guess it doesn't matter if we use a library or not though. We can just say, let's just provide an implementation first. Implement event manager, first of all we'll have a new function, returning self, and I don't think it needs to take any parameters. And this will just, see, to do, I don't think, we don't need it to do there. Holy, music distracting. It's not working. My skip keybind isn't working. I'm pretty hungry. I need to go eat soon, but I want to finish this event manager thingy first. It's hard to focus on multiple things. Before I would focus on music and coding, and I finally got good at that. Now I'm learning about how to focus on the stream and coding at the same time, and I am finally starting to get that. Stream, music, and coding at the same time is confusing me again, but I'll get it. I keep getting distracted. Okay. Work time, work time. So we're gonna have our event manager. First of all, one question is how do we access the event manager to register it in other threads? Or not even in other threads, but just from other places in the program. We're gonna have to pass it somehow. I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just take an event manager. So a question is, should event manager itself be thread safe? Or should it be stored in an arc? Or I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's an arc, but a mutex. Should it be stored in a mutex? Hmm. Okay, no, it's just gonna be fundamentally thread safe because, and it'll be obvious that it's thread safe because there's the sync trait and the send trait, and those are both gonna be implemented if I write this correctly. Oh, how I love Rust static checks. Oh lord. Gotta get better at my pronunciation too. So, we're gonna have another function, register handler. And that's going to take mutable self, and it's going to return. This is gonna have to return like an event receiver, something like that. Oops. And pub fn. So actually, okay, I was at first thinking that when you're creating an object that would have to respond to events, you'd pass the entire event manager in, and then it would subscribe to that event manager. But actually, a better idea would just be to take the event manager, or sorry, not take the event manager, leave the event manager local to the place where the events are generated, and shoot, there's a problem. Well, okay, no, every time we load something that needs to, or every time we initialize something that needs to respond to events, instead of giving them the event manager, we'll just give them a new event receiver. And actually that works perfectly, so great. Event receiver. So we're gonna have to define that as a struct too. So we'll have a register handler, or actually a register receiver, or a new receiver? I guess a new receiver. Or get receiver, I don't know. Get receiver implies that there's only one. New receiver, we'll leave that for now. The other function, submit event, write event, create event, make event. I guess register, not register because, I don't know, register kind of has the connotation that you're doing it once, like you're registering it and then it's done. So maybe just a broadcast event. There we go. That's good enough. Good enough. Good enough is a very powerful thing in programming that can also be abused. And that'll also take an event, not a reference, but an actual value because we're going to move it into the broadcaster. However, event does need to be clonable at least. It does not have to be copyable, but it does have to be clonable. One thing I'm thinking about right now is how we're going to, in the future, like maybe extend the ability to like register different types of events with like if there's a mod or something. How can a mod opt to generate their own type of event? I think I'm gonna have to think about that later because that's kind of crazy. We should just have this up and running for now. So this is not going to return anything, I think, except maybe a result. My arm kind of hurts for some reason. I'm really craving a sandwich right now. I just went to the store and got some bread. I'm excited. Okay. We have to create an event receiver struct. This will also be sent in sync. Or wait. Oh, yeah, it does have to be sent in sync since we're not going to generate it out the. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Doesn't matter yet. I mean, yes, it does matter, but I don't know yet. That's what it is. I do not know. So, let's see. To create an event manager, we could make this backed. Can you forward one channel to multiple other channels? Like, I guess when you broadcast, okay, here's an idea. We'll have in channel, just in chan, or just in. Oh, never mind, that's a keyword. So, or input. We'll have input, and input is just going to be like a standard sync channel. Wait, std mps oh, mpsc okay, whatever. Std sync mpsc sender. Oh, that's why I wasn't finding anything. So this will be a receiver of events. And we'll also have outputs, which is going to be a vector, or maybe a map. No, I just think of vector. Oh, actually no, this should be a map. And we'll also define a type, pub type event receiver ID. Actually, that can be in an impl of event receiver. Impl event receiver pub type ID equals, and it'll just be a U32 for now. That's fine. And that gives us an error because inherent associated types are unstable. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, I guess we're not doing that. Event pub type event receiver type equals U32. Then we'll have a hash map of whoops, not event receiver type, event receiver ID. We'll have a hash map of event receiver IDs mapping to event receivers. So when we broadcast an event, we're just going to have, well, first of all, let's just set the output. Wait. Shoot, hold up. Oh, I got an idea. Let's move this up here. We're going to have a field ID, which is going to be of type event receiver ID. Then we'll have in the output, wait, yeah, output. And this is going to be a sender. Oh, what's the difference between a sync sender? Shoot. Wait, syncs? What's the difference between a sync sender and a normal sender? Channel one shot sender. Okay, MPSC. I hope I did the right. Okay, wait, what's this? Oops. Okay, that's futures channel. That's not what we want. Sender, comma. We do not want futures channel. We just want a normal channel. So the output is also going to be of events. So when we broadcast an event, I think what we're going to do is we're going to oh, we don't even need an input. We just need outputs. Actually, no, we don't need outputs. We need a inputs. We don't even need a channel for the input because it's going to be on the thread of the generator. So that's fine. Oh lord, I just realized that we could have a ton of different types of event handlers. Ah, I'll think about that later. For now, we just want the game event handler. So this is going to contain a hash map between event receiver IDs and senders, I think. And this has to be a receiver. I always get my channels all mixed up because, I don't know. It's confusing which one is the sender and the receiver. A receiver of events. So when we broadcast an event, we're just going to loop over for input in and inputs. Input dot send. Wait. Oh. Self dot inputs. Input dot send. What? Oh. Hello. Input dot. God. Oh my God. Me. Holy. Me and my channels. Okay. Okay. Event dot input dot send, and then we'll send the event, and then I think we have to unwrap that. We really shouldn't unwrap this though. We should return a result. I think. Let's see. Send. What kind of result is this? What the? Oops. It's because of this. Send is it returns a send error. For now, let's just make this a result with all it's gonna say is if it was right or wrong. We don't know how it's going to fail or whatever. Just it's either right or it's wrong. So dot map. Wait, dot I've always wondered like oh wait, can I wait. Is this a thing that could work? expected enum. Oh, so we get an error here. Yo, no way does this work. Yeah, cause okay, nice. This is ugly. I have to fix that sometime soon. Cause this should have its own like set of errors that can happen. So to create a new receiver, what we're gonna do is self dot inputs dot insert. So we're gonna insert a new input. The key is just going to be rand. Rand. Do I have rand? I think I need to install that. Cargo.toml. Rand equals, I think it's 0.3. Oh, 0.8. I'm very wrong. Okay, rand. Wait for cargo to install that so I can get my IntelliSense or autocomplete, I guess that's what you'd call it. Okay. Rand random. Okay, at a random key, we'll insert I don't know, man. Is it okay to use an unchecked random integer when you try to insert? Like the chance of it colliding is 1 in like 4 million or something. But that's not 0. And as this gets bigger and bigger, that annoys me. What we could do is have like an incrementing counter. Here we go. This is what we can do. We'll just have, let's see, event manager last ID, last receiver ID. We'll set it to 1. Oops. Well, out there. So this will return self. We can actually fill this out. Last receiver ID should be 1. Or should this be called next receiver ID? That makes more sense. Next receiver ID is a U32. Oh. Next receiver ID, let's set it to 1, because if it's 0, then that means that something is wrong. Just kidding, that's stupid. We're setting it to 0. Inputs is just an empty hash map. So yeah, when we create a receiver, we're gonna insert into inputs self.next receiver ID, and self.next receiver ID will get incremented by 1. Oops, and this should also be of type event receiver ID in case we change that type in the future. Oh, actually, before we do the insert also, we have to actually create the channel that we're going to insert. So let sender and receiver send RECV equals, this also has to be inside of a tuple, std mpsc sync mpsc channel. What's the difference between a channel and a sync channel? Oh, sync channels, wait, asynchronous channel. Okay, let's create the sender and the receiver. Send. Yeah, it's not async. So I don't know why it's called. Don't know. Oh well. Anyway, channel. Okay, so we'll insert the sender channel so that we can send to it in the broadcast event here, where we go through all the events and send. Oh. And I think event also has to be clone. I'm not sure why it's not giving me an error there. It's probably because I have other errors elsewhere. Anyway, and then so then we'll return an event receiver, the ID. Oh. Okay, first we'll say event receiver, let event receiver equals event receiver ID solve.next receiver ID, output is receive. So actually I'll change these to input and output. Input chan. I named these kind of inconsistently. I should probably fix that. Whatever. It's not too big of a deal. And then here we just return event receiver, and we also put a semicolon after this struct literal. And then now it's giving me the error that we need the clone in there. And we don't need this ID apparently, so we'll just underscore that. Oh, actually what we can do is we can say inputs dot values. Okay. Okay, that's actually working. So now we'll go into main. Nope. Just closing my window because someone is outside. Anyway, I'm also noticing now places that we can use the event system for other things too, but we'll get to that later. So I'm also considering whether, like, I don't know. I'm just questioning my whole setup right now, which I always do. Anyway, so we'll go to main. The event manager, we're gonna have to start it in main next to game and render. Let mute event manager equals event manager new. And then we'll actually pass that into game. Shoot, or will I? Okay, we're gonna have to change this in the future, but first, for now, we'll pass into render the window and event manager dot new receiver. And then we'll just pass event manager into game. So this is really ugly because it requires me to register all of the event handlers before we set up the game. And after that, pretty much we can't register any more event handlers. It's impossible. That might actually be fine. Although once we start wanting to like manage more different types of events from different sources, that's gonna get weird. So we'll have to change that. But anyway, this is good practice. We'll go into render anew. Holy, this song needs to skip. Okay. Oh, almost at 2 hours. I wonder if we can finish this before then. So, event receiver. Event receiver. We're gonna have to store that event receiver up here. You know what? There's a problem. We have to unregister the event receivers somehow. That's another thing I have to think about. Right now, they don't ever have to be unregistered at any point. Basically, this whole system kind of sucks. But I'm learning. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So we'll also go into game new. We have to make this so that it takes the event manager. Event manager is actually it's just a direct shoot. What's wrong? Oh, never mind. So event manager. Oh my god, USPS just passed my window. Did my package come? This is late. I've never seen USPS come this late before. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't say it's delivered yet, but it might just be updating. Okay, we're taking event manager. The only thing we're going to do with it right now is just say event manager dot. I guess we could say send event instead of broadcast event. That does actually sound pretty good. But anyway, event, we're just going to create a new event. We have to, oh, this event needs to be public. I'm actually going to rename this to game event. No, I'm not. Okay, event. Import. So this is going to be an Octree updated event, and it's going to contain Octree builder dot reader. Whew, that actually works. And this has to be mutable as well. And then we'll just unwrap this. Oh, it's actually kind of getting there. Now we have to handle that event in graphics mod. So we'll do that in our render function. Before we start rendering, we'll go through all the events. You know, this we could even do this on another thread to keep our rendering smooth, but we'll do this here for now. So this is do rendering. And before that, we'll have update octree if necessary. So we'll say self dot event receiver dot, oh, now we need, there's more and more things every time. Oh, my dad's calling, hold on. Right, back. So yeah, almost done, almost done. Pub, oops, not pub. So for the event receiver, we need to make a way to actually receive the events. And I'm thinking the way we can do that is we can get like an iterator. And we're just gonna call it like next event, or just next. And this has to return some sort of iterator. Oh lord. Pub type. Okay, I barely understand how to use iterators. Let's just say some iter for now. And this will also take mutable self, self.output recv. Maybe we can just say impl iterator with item equal to what's the item? Oh, event. And so this will return std iter repeat, I think, or maybe, yeah, probably repeat. No, we don't want to endlessly repeat. Std iter, we want the iterator to repeat until we return some bad value, aka try receive fails. Does it repeat with? from function? Okay, I need to look this up. Rust. Iterator. Oh, I like this song. Bro, I might have to come back to this because I'm hungry. Like, I need to eat food. And my coding power starts to slow down pretty fast when I don't eat enough. Okay, so here's what we're looking up. Rust iterator, custom iterator. Let's just look up custom iterators. See what we can do. Let's look at the options. I think we might need to make our own custom iterator. That's okay. So we'll gotta make another type, pub type, or pub struct event iterator. Oh, so actually this wouldn't be here. This would be, we should do impl iterator for event receiver. And we can say type item equals event. Then we define the next, taking mute self, returns an option of our item. Oh, and this does not have to be public anymore because this is a trait now. So try receive, what does this return? Probably try receive. Let's go to the function definition. Okay, so we're gonna have to respond to this error. Match self.output.try receive. So if we get an OK value, then we'll just pass that to the iterator. OK event. We'll just return some event. In the case of an error with a try receive error empty, then we'll return none. And shoot, if there's an actual error, oh, well, we can just return a result. And for the error, we're just gonna put nothing. But anyway, error, so any other type of error, we'll just say some error. Bro, I'm running out of brain juice. Some OK event and some error. And that is a problem because no. Okay, that's actually supposedly a valid iterator. So what's wrong here? Event receiver.next. Okay, so now I can just say for event in. Oh, this is so cool. In event receiver.next. Oop, that's a function. Yo, that's so cool. So I'll just unwrap it here because what matters more is the underlying thing returns an error because, or a result, because I might want to act on that result at some point in the future of like, I don't know, later on in development. Okay, for event. So I'll match event. It's event, is it gonna give me options? Oh, match event dot unwrap. If it's an event, what the heck? Anyway, octree updated containing a the octree, right, data, or nodes. Um, then we'll update the octree terrain, self.terrain pipeline dot up dot, how do I update it? Oh. It's always another thing, it's always another thing. It's so annoying. Anyway. Shoot, okay, this is going to be annoying. Pub fn update octree. And this is going to take an octree in the form of a node slice. Oh god, and this is gonna necessitate us updating the data bind group as well. Holy, okay. God, okay. fn create data bind group. And this is going to blah. Okay, let's go to display because I had something similar in there to maintain consistency. First we take the device and then the other stuff. Device, and there'll be GPU device. And it'll also take the data buff, the root buff and the octree buff. And this will return a bind group. Holy lord, the code has absolutely expanded a lot today. So we're just gonna move this into there. Self create data bind group, and literally just like that. Oh, it auto-filled it. Oh, we also got to take the bind group layout, BGL. I like this song. What song is this? Last 7 letters. Pretty good. Getting promoted to the good playlist. Okay, so we got our BGL. Next. Got our read book. Okay, this is actually done. Can now replace this. Oh, we gotta pass in the and data BGL. Okay, that resolves the errors. So in update octree, we're also going to have to pass in the device because we have to create a new, what's it called, buffer. So we're gonna have to create a function also for creating the octree buffer. So let's move game.rs. Oh, I'm scared. There's so many things that are gonna go wrong. Game. I hate breaking everything because my brain gets hurt when I have to put everything back together. Dude, like, it feels like a crack just opened in my brain and all the information is just falling out. Like, I'm just becoming stupid right now. This is what happens after I program for too long. Like, I'm looking at the code right now and I totally just forgot what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, right. Where's terrain pipeline? Not here. It'll be in terrain.rs. pubfm update octree, right? Terrain pipeline is a terrain pipeline. Update octree using nodes .lock .unwrap. Why is update octree not a thing? Oh, we gotta take self. I think mutable self too. So self self dot octree buff. Wait, self dot oh. Okay, we have to store the buffers. So first we got our root buff. Then we got our octree buff. We're gonna have to store that. Oh my god, my brain, my poor brain. This is gonna have to also contain an octree. Octree. Bruh, I need to take a break. I have to take a break. My brain is literally gonna melt if I don't right now. So, anyway, I'm ending the stream right here. But it was highly productive. I actually have not felt this productive in quite a while. Let's do our line count again. 1579. So we didn't add a ton, but I mean, 75, that's pretty good. 76. Anyway, peace. Time to go and make some food because I am so hungry. Oh, and my mousepad came. Excellent.